The rise and fall of ancient civilizations. A comprehensive examination of the mist from various regions around the globe reveals that two distinct flood narratives occurred. The initial deluge narrative refers to a dark world, or the commencement and conclusion of an era. Then, a deluge occurs, and there is a cataclysm. The seven abigails, or sages, assist an individual in evading the catastrophe. Following this, the Golden Age and a new era commenced. Civilization is forming as a result of Noah's deluge, which is akin to the biblical narrative in that it is intended to eradicate wickedness from the earth. Noah survives the catastrophe, and there is no mention of the seven sages or the seven abigails. In South America, there is a tradition of Vedicocha, a builder deity who appears mysteriously after a global flood has destroyed everything. He is accompanied by a group of seven specialists, each of whom is an expert in their respective disciplines at specific locations. No matter which civilization emerges on Earth following the deluge, it is always led by a charismatic leader who oversees seven craftspeople who are experts in their respective fields. Several common themes have been recurring in spiritual traditions and mythology throughout the centuries. The ancient cycles that are inscribed in nature and embedded in myth serve as a reminder that the only way to survive on this planet is to be willing to adapt and change. All of these narratives share common themes. One of the themes is that civilization is cyclic rather than linear, suggesting that there have been previous cycles of civilization that have endured for approximately 5,000 years. Something transpires. These cycles conclude, and a new cycle commences. This is the point at which the situation began, which is 5,500 years ago. Discoveries are currently disclosing the remnants of ancient civilizations that predate the 5,000-year window on numerous occasions. Plato's discussion of Atlantis and the ancient Egyptians' Temple of Sais are both examples of ancient stories that discuss the various ways in which these events have occurred. They address the destruction of civilizations as a result of periods of severe inundation, as well as extreme heat and fire. The disappearance and destruction of these pre-Diluvian civilizations are the result of a comprehensive array of calamitous events rather than a single event. Many of these ancient megalithic structures from pre-Diluvian civilizations have been left behind, exhibiting vitrification on their surfaces, whether in Egypt, Peru, or Turkey. This is telltale evidence. This implies that the granite blocks and the quartz within them were essentially meltdowns as a result of an extreme heat event, indicating that the surface temperatures would have exceeded 2,000 degrees. For centuries, researchers and mythological heroes embarking on a voyage have sought answers from the sky to elucidate the events of the past. The majority of spiritual traditions and mythical journeys contain fundamental messages that motivate us to also explore ourselves in search of solutions. Ice core samples from the polar regions of the planet have been the subject of scientific investigation since the early 20th century. The Greenland Ice Core Project conducted experiments from 1989 to 19 on the Blue Ice Field in the Allan Hills of Antarctica, which revealed ice that was approximately 2.7 million years old. These studies offer geologists a comprehensive comprehension of the cyclical nature of Earth's climate and weather patterns. The Pleistocene and the Holocene are the terms used by geologists to describe the past and present epochs. The Pleistocene epoch commenced approximately 2.8 million years ago. North America, Greenland, and Northern Europe were enveloped in sheets of ice. The present epoch, the Holocene, began approximately 11,500 years ago. Nevertheless, the transition from one epoch to another is not a complete one. The transition period, which serves as a buffer between the two, is the enigma that enables us to comprehend the events that transpired in these ancient civilizations. An unprecedented period known as the Younger Dryas transpired between 12,800 and 11,600 years ago. There are plant species that are exclusively found in frigid environments. The Dryas, one of those species, is the source of the term Younger Dryas. Cold temperatures during this period are indicated by the extensive evidence of the Younger Dryas in Northern Europe and North America. The vegetation from that era vanished as the temperatures began to rise. The Ice Age reached its zenith approximately 20,000 years before the present during the late Pleistocene age of the ice. Subsequently, temperatures began to rise. The ice was dissolved by the warming. Afterward, an event transpired that remains an enigma to this day. The warming ceased abruptly, and temperatures plummeted by approximately 5 degrees Celsius across the entire northern hemisphere. Temperatures experienced a precipitous decline for approximately 1,200 years as a result of this change. There are numerous hypotheses regarding the causes of these significant climate shifts during the Younger Dryas period. One prevalent theory is the Clovis comet hypothesis, which posits that the planet was impacted by fragments of a large asteroid or comet. In another theory, our solar system undergoes a cataclysmic event. At present, the asteroid belt is located between Jupiter and Mars. Throughout history, a multitude of astronomers and researchers have conjectured that this is the outcome of the destruction of a planet that was previously in existence. The Enuma Elish, an ancient Babylonian cuneiform text, refers to this watery planet as Tiamat, which is akin to Earth. Throughout history, this enigmatic planet has been referred to as Phaeton, Marduk, Moldek, and Planet V. If a planet were to be destroyed, could some of the debris from the enormous explosion have fallen to Earth, causing significant changes to the balance of our planet? Recent evidence has indicated that Earth was struck by an object from the cosmos on multiple occasions during this period. It is presumed to be a comet. The impact would have been more localized if it had been an asteroid. Nevertheless, the substance that was entering the Earth's atmosphere fragmented, causing it to disperse across multiple continents simultaneously. The mineral platinum, which is comparatively uncommon on Earth, but is present in comets, is discovered as far south as South Africa, where it is found in conjunction with fragments from northern Europe. This period is also indicated by a substantial crater discovered in Greenland. The impact of the comet and the heat generated by it, which reached thousands of degrees, may have resulted in a rapid melting of cold water in the North Atlantic, according to the theories of what triggered the Younger Dryas. Ocean levels experienced a significant increase before the pre-Diluvian period, which occurred 13,000 years ago. During this period, North America and Europe experienced substantial ice caps, as evidenced by geological and climatological records, including ice cores and geologic evidence. The Enuma Elish mentions that cataclysmic events in our solar system, as well as vast amounts of rain and melting ice caps, resulted in the flooding of the ocean, which raised sea levels by up to 400 feet. This flooding and submersion of ancient cities and structures worldwide, starting from the surface water surrounding the North Pole. The informative videos.